I think the best thing that I've gained from training with martial arts is to know that I am stronger than I think that I am. To know that I do have the ability to push myself. To know that when I'm exhausted and I just can't kick another time, I can kick another time. You know, it brings out the best discipline that I've ever had in my life. And again, it brings out a whole confidence that I know when I can get through classes, when I can do this, it carries through to other aspects of my life, and it helps me to be focused. It helps me to prioritize and be disciplined and be more of a go-getter. I think what I love the most is how I feel when I finish. I have had days where I've been so exhausted, depressed, emotionally drained, and I force myself to go to class and I walk out ready to conquer the world. You just feel so strong, so empowered. Every worry that I had has been worked out. My stress level is decreased immensely. I can't say enough. I feel like I really accomplished something after every class that I go to. As I kind of said in the video, my weight loss really started to happen as I got separated and then into my divorce. So I started at the gym with the treadmill, with the weights, with the aerobics classes, and I started to drop weight pretty quick. And I started working with a personal trainer with a little bit of kickboxing base, and then I made my final decision to come in and do martial arts. I probably, in the whole scheme of things, went from my highest, which is at 150 pounds, to my lowest, which has been 105 pounds, you know, fluctuating in between that through this whole time. Once I got into martial arts though, I probably dropped about 5 to 10 pounds when I really started to train and go full on. I can definitely tell a difference when I don't train for a couple weeks and then come back in. It really just helps keep your cardio and your fitness up. In general, it is such a great workout. I'm kind of to the point that my body's becoming used to it, so I kind of need to find other ways now to kind of shock the system and you know, throw it a little curveball here and there. So when I started taking martial arts and making friends, naturally we would get together and start watching the UFC fights, start talking about the fighters, and you know, I think about who's my favorite fighter right now, and I have to say it's kind of hard to say because they're all so great in their own way and in their own strengths. I guess in the women, one of my top faves is Joanna Jędrzejczyk and probably Paige Van Zandt. I think they're both incredible. I love how Paige is kind of changing things up right now and spicing it up with different, you know, unconventional moves. I do have to give my props to Ronda Rousey. Like, she's incredible. You know, there really hasn't been anyone who's dominated as much as her. And, you know, now that she's gotten some humility, we'll see. That's the one thing. But her technique and ability is definitely phenomenal. I love Miesha Tate too. I think Miesha's such a fighter, and she's so strong, and you will always get back up and get back in there no matter what. You know, there's things to admire about Aldo, about Weidman. It's, you know, it's hard to say. I think one of the main things that they all have though is their discipline and their focus. You can see that in every fighter. You know, McGregor, all of them. They are determined to make it to the top, and I think that is the one thing in all the fighters that I can admire, that they all are really great at. Once you start training and you hear the terminology, you'll hear Dana White say it, Joe Rogan. You talk about strikers versus ground game. And so strikers are your kickboxers. Strikers are your punchers, the ones, you know, your boxers, like Manny Pacquiao's 100% solely a striker. Then you have your grapplers or your wrestlers or your jiu-jitsu artists, and that's kind of the ground game. That's where, you know, you learn how to use your body weight to dominate. You learn how, if someone gets you on the ground, how to turn that around so that you're on top of them and either can choke them out and submit them, if, you know, need be in severity, break a limb of some kind. It's more, I mean, they're all kind of an art form, but it's more of an art of just really learning how to use gravity and how to use your body to kind of dominate someone else and control them. When I first stepped into the Tiger Schulmann school, I was really impressed with the uniformity of how they organized their classes. It was the kind of situation that, you know, Tiger Schulmann himself trains all of his senseis of all the schools, and every school takes that technique for the week and trains their students. So I could go into New York and study with them there, and I'm going to be learning the same skills that they're learning for that week that I would in Hoboken with Sensei Gaudana. On top of that, so they're all structured the same, which I really liked. And the energy of them all, especially, which I was going to say on top of that, Sensei Gaudana had, he just brought such a high impact intensity that you just felt like you were working your butt off and that you really walked out of the class gaining, you know, a great workout, great cardio, and great skills.